Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan. For today, we have the amazing Erica with us. Erica, how are you today?
Hi, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, what better way to continue this amazing pace of an epic day than to now talk with someone as badass as you? You know what I mean? It's
Wow.
epic. I love it. I love it. But tell me, for those who don't know who is the amazing badass Erica, please tell us who you are.
So my name is Erica Orofino. I'm a writer and director based in Toronto, Ontario.
There you go. I love it. Now, where the journey begins, where this whole passion for directing started.
I think it started. I've always loved movies, and when I was a kid growing up in Montreal, I used to write stories all the time. So I kind of came into filmmaking as a writer first and foremost. And I used to write short stories all the time, and they would be, I think, like pretty horrific, like in the horror genre.
Okay.
And then from there, I always loved movies, but I never saw filmmaking as a viable career option. And I think that's just by virtue of having not been surrounded by anyone who was working in film when I was a kid. So it was really when I went to Cégep, because in Montreal you do like a pre-university program for 2 years called Cégep. I went to Cégep and I took a screenwriting course, and I remember just loving it and being just so in awe of how my passion for writing and my love of movies and music can all kind of come together in this one format. And that's really, so I think like my early 20s is when I started considering maybe a career in film. From there, I started writing screenplays just for fun, like just for me. And I remember I wrote an adaptation of Perks of Being a Wallflower. That was my first screenwriting kind of experience.
Okay.
And again, still I haven't even hadn't considered directing yet, but it was just all about screenwriting. And so I went to York University in the screenwriting program, the undergrad, for 4 years, and I graduated in 2015. And that's when I started to feel the urge to direct my own work. So when I got out of school, I made my first short film. I wrote and directed my first short film. And then from there, it kind of just felt like a natural, organic progression. I just kept writing and directing. And now, my career is in like the best place that it's ever been.
I love it. That's super cool. Wow. Okay. And tell me, what were some of the challenges that you had when you were, recently making those first steps on your career?
Yeah, I feel like I don't think that the challenges are done being challenges yet. I think like some of the challenges are like, how do you keep creating and honing your craft and support yourself at the same time? I think that's like a very common challenge for a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Like I don't come from money. I don't have some of the financial, because filmmaking is like a really, really expensive endeavor. And it takes, it's like thousands and thousands of dollars to make a 5-minute short film. So it's not like writing where it's just you and a piece of paper and you can write your heart out and practice that way. But practicing directing or filmmaking is so expensive. So how do you support yourself financially? Like, how do you live and create at the same time? That's a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like in the past, what I did was I just worked like retail jobs. And like I was in school full time, and then I was working part time, and I had student loans, and then any chance I got, I would just write and direct whatever I could. But then out of school, I started working in production. So I had a full-time job in the industry, but in the production department, like working in advertising as a producer or a production coordinator. And then any spare time that I had would just go to my own stuff. And I really mean like lunch breaks, after work, weekends, holidays. Like there's so many sacrifices that you have to make, I think.
Yeah.
If you don't have, money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really big challenge. And I think I'm still navigating that. Like I'm in a different place now, but it's definitely still a challenge. And another challenge is kind of like, I guess, how do you overcome imposter syndrome? How do you believe in yourself enough to kind of like pave your way through this? Because it's a really competitive, saturated industry. And I think a lot of it is your mindset. And that's something that is a big challenge. But I think that's also something that as I'm getting older and as I'm, working through these things, I'm getting a little bit better at that. And then let me think. Oh, another one, which I kind of touched on, is like healthy work-life balance.
Okay.
Because, like I think artists, I don't know. So I think a lot of us don't have a healthy work-life balance, especially like in the film industry. Hours are so crazy. Like you can be working like a 20-hour day. And I say 20 hours because like if you're directing or producing something, you're really the first one there and the last one to leave. And you're wearing many hats. And all of the prep work that goes into it. It's just, that's all time that doesn't necessarily, you don't really get paid for that. It just kind of is par for the course. And so how do you stay sane and stay healthy, like in your mind and your body while you're working so much? I think that's a big challenge.
That's crazy. And tell me how you manage to keep your mind and your body in a healthy way.
I don't know if I'm the best person to ask, because I don't know if I'm still kind of like navigating that. But I think like for me, I definitely take time to be by myself. Like I think alone time is really necessary. And even if it's just like watching a really bad TV show at night, that's kind of my thing. Is like if I'm working all day and I'm surrounded by people constantly and everyone's looking to you for solutions and for answers, and your brain just feels like it's on overdrive. I love just watching like trashy TV when I get home.
Okay.
And go to sleep. Like that feels like a nice brain reset or something.
Yeah.
But also I should probably do like physical activity. I know that's like the best thing for you, but I haven't, I don't know, gotten around to incorporating that.
And I get it. I mean, after being standing up, sitting up, walking a little bit, turning back, sit again, walk up, crawl, like all of those stuff, and going back and going at home. I mean, once you're home pretty late, I mean, if you tell me that you will do exercise, I will be like, that's wow, because I mean, it's understandable that you just want to sit on the couch or in the bed, watch some trash TV show here and there. I do the same thing, so I know what you mean. It's pretty cool. I mean, they're horrible, but you're like, yeah. So yeah, I get it. So I mean, at the end, it's what releases, all of that stress that you might have. So that's totally fine.
Yeah.
There you go. I love it. Now, tell me, what is your approach on directing? Like, how you set your mind to direct a project? Like, I mean, like, how you do it?
That I can either take like hours to explain this, or I can give you a short answer, which is kind of a cop-out answer, which is like, it's always different. I think generally, if I'm directing something narrative, I'll have a script. Like I'll either write the script or I'll be given a script, and then from there I can do a lot of prep with my script. But even if it's like a music video or something that doesn't necessarily require a script, I like to write one out just so everyone's on the same page. I think generally I like talking to my DP, like my cinematographer, early on in the process, and I like casting early as well, because I like molding the characters after the actor that I cast. So I think like filmmaking is such a team sport that a lot of the prep or a lot of the, I guess like the approach has to do with engaging other people that you trust, like engaging other creative collaborators that you really trust with the vision, and working with them as early as you can.
Wow. And I mean, I bet that it must have been a kind of a little bit stressing job, right? The fact that sometimes you will get a shot, it wasn't good enough, let's do it again, the same thing, or you have spent already this amount of money to make this shot happen, and it needs to be perfect in one shot, otherwise we're screwed. So I'm pretty sure that all of that, it's a kind of a little bit a stressful thing to do sometimes, right?
Yeah, it can be stressful, definitely. I think working in this industry, you need to have a really good handle on stress, or like, be able to work under a lot of pressure, and not lose your head or freak out. Like, I think that's important.
Yeah, and do you have like your own crew, or in every project you have new one? Like, how does that work?
I like to work with similar, like the same people over and over again, just, because you develop a shorthand with them. Sure. Like there's a handful of cinematographers that I love and that I've worked with before, and so I like bringing them back out for projects. Same thing with editors. I think it's like a good mix of both. Like, you want to bring the right person out for the project, but at the same time, you also want to work with someone that you really trust and that you've developed like a professional relationship with, and that this person is going to deliver. And also you want to work with people that you really like. Absolutely. And so if you're bringing someone new on, you don't know, like, you don't really know how it's going to go, or if you're going to mesh personality wise. So yeah, I feel like I tend to work with the same kind of key crew if I can. But I am also really open to working with new people, and I'm always meeting new people in the industry. So yeah.
I mean, at the same time, that's a win-win, because you get the chance to kind of expand your work with other people, and at the same time, as you mentioned, the fact that you will get the chance to meet so many people as well on the whole world. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, now let's say that one day I call you and I tell you that I want to become a director. Now, I don't have any experience at all, zero. I mean, the only thing I ever once directed was back when I was like 10 years old, like 12 I think, and I decided to make a film with my toys with a camera from my father.
Yeah,
so that was like the only thing I ever did, so that doesn't count at all. Absolutely. But tell me, like, what advice would you give to me that has zero knowledge of directing, but wants to try it on? I'm in my 30s, be like, you know what, screw it, I want a career change and make that happen. So what would you tell me?
I think I would tell you that the only way that you can become a director is if you direct as much as you can. And that means that you'll probably have to make some sacrifices, whether that's financial sacrifices or time. Like, you'll have to give up a lot of your time. You'll have to invest in yourself financially, which not everyone can do. It's hard. Like, you won't be able to go on vacations with your friends sometimes, or in the early days, and it'll be, like I said, like years of investing in yourself. So just be ready for that, and do what you need to do to support yourself financially, and then just direct and keep directing, and like, make good stuff. And if you're persistent enough and you work hard enough, and if you're a friendly person who is kind to other people and people like being around you, then you'll get somewhere. That's what I would say.
I love it. I tell you what, if I ever get an Oscar for Best Director, I'll let you know in my thank you speech.
Okay, thank you.
This wouldn't be possible without Erica advising. Yeah, but it's true. I mean, once an actor once told me that if I ever want to become an actor or enter in the whole entertainment business, the only thing that I need to do is don't be a dick, and you'll be fine.
Mm.
You know, because you never know that sometimes if you were mean to someone, to either director or even part of the crew, you never know, maybe that person at some point needs someone, and you're not gonna be even on the list of people to think about, like, oh, I can call, so he was telling me that, and so that's one thing. And the second thing, once told me that it's true. I mean, that entering into this whole world, let's say, it has a lot of sacrifices that sometimes you will not have time to be with family, with friends, or even time to sleep. That you will have to work on your craft, or like develop new things. And yeah, that is sacrifice. But they were telling me that if you're fine with that, take it. But if you're not sure, then take your time, because otherwise you're gonna feel miserable once you realize all the time you spend, and money too, and you're gonna feel like a total idiot because So I was like, okay, interesting. And yeah, it's true. I mean, at the end of the day, I do understand that in whatever you want to do, it's a process. That it's a work on it. I mean, you need to, and if you love it, you need to work as well. And perhaps it's less stressing because you love it as something that you don't, but still.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. Like being, what was the first thing that you said?
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of, like, I don't know, there are a lot of people who are really, really talented and maybe not the easiest person to get along with or work with. And the person who is a little bit less talented but way more likable is probably going to get for sure going to get the job over the person who's kind of a dick. And I think that's just like something that people don't really talk about, and it's not something you can really learn. It's just like, be a nice person, and when you're talking to people, don't talk to people with the intention of like, oh, I hope they hire me or I want them to hire me. Like, talk to them as a human to human and form a human connection with somebody, and listen to them when they're speaking to you, and be engaged in the conversation in the moment, and not just looking at people for like what they can do for you. Yeah,
I love it. Preach on that. Yeah, it's true. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, just don't be a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple. I love it. Now, if you could describe your whole career since day one until right now, but on a film, let's say, I don't know, Netflix, HBO, Disney, they come to you and they tell you, we got this idea about creating a film in which describes all of your directing career, but we need a name. So how would you call it?
Yeah, that's a tough one, because I think that the journey is it feels like it goes through chapters or something. But I guess maybe if I'm allowed to be like cheesy, I'd probably say maybe it would be called therapy or something. Because I think that working, when you're a creative person and you're trying to tell truthful stories that are like truthful for you, a lot of yourself gets put into those stories, and working on, or like working through some of the feelings that you have, or like the moments that you have experienced in your life that you're then translating onto a screen for other people to experience and connect with you, like that kind of thing is really cathartic and can be therapeutic. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, and now that you mentioned that, how you handle those thoughts, that you're about to release a project that you direct, how you manage those thoughts of, what if people don't like it? What if something was wrong of it? Like, how you manage to kind of remove yourself from that toxic bubble?
I think that it's a good question, and I don't know if there's one right answer for it, but for me, I feel that when I've made something, like when it's finished and it's, screening at a festival or it's online and people are watching it, at that point, other people's reactions or feelings are completely out of my hands. And the thing is made, and it's outside of me now, and it's its own thing, and it's over there, and I can look at it at a distance, and I'm no longer I tried to rid myself of the responsibility of other people's feelings towards what I've made, because there's nothing I can do anymore to change it. And also you can't please everybody. So I think I've also learned at this point that if it feels really good, even if a handful of people come up to you at some point, you know, and say, hey, I really appreciate you making that because I went through the exact same thing with my sibling, or you know, like, oh, I was so happy to see the way you represented menstruation on screen, like stuff like that. You can't make everybody happy, but if you are able to connect to even a few people, it feels really good. So yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, of course it does. Absolutely. 10 out of 10. I love it. Wow. I mean, that must have been like, the feeling, I bet it's pretty cool, right? The fact that someone comes to you and tell you what you did, I love it, you know, or what you did inspire, or what you did actually represent something that I went to, you know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a great feeling.
Absolutely. Wow. Now, that being said, how would you describe your career on a drink?
Okay, I think it would be like just a straight tequila shot that like burns while it's going down and you feel a bit sick, but you're also having a really fun time.
Okay. I like it. You know, I once tried a shot of mezcal with Tabasco on it.
That sounds kind of good.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good, but my best advice is make sure you eat something first. Otherwise, you're gonna regret it for the rest of the evening, and it's horrible. So.
Okay, thanks.
But anyway, tell me, getting back here with a shot here of tequila, tell me, how would you call it? Let's say that if I go to a bar and I want to order that specific drink that describes your career, how do I call it?
Maybe like the anxious director.
I'll take it. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. That's cool. I'll take it. And
okay.
Like, what motivates you? You know, we all have those days, right? That we just want to quit. You know, we think that it's been a waste of time, that we're not good enough. We start to compare. I mean, getting inside into this toxic thoughts is always way too easy. So what gets you out of it and pushes you back on this journey that you have created now for so many years now?
Yeah. I think really what motivates me and what keeps me kind of focused, one of the things is seeing other people doing what I want to be doing. Okay. I think sometimes that might feel demotivating, but not if you're looking at it as like, these people are doing what I want to be doing. The only thing that's separating me from those people is, you know, insert here, like the amount of experience they have, or the opportunities that they've been afforded, or it could be anything. But you are not, at least the way I look at it is, I'm not any less worthy of having those opportunities than the next person. And so why can't it be me? That thought really motivates me. But also being surrounded by other people, like your friends and your community, who are working towards similar goals, or like working in the industry and they're just as ambitious and they're just as talented, that really motivates me as well. I think community is really important.
Absolutely. Wow. Okay. What can we expect from you in the future? Where's Erica's career in the future?
So I am finishing up a short film, and I've got another short film I'm making in the summer. So you can expect to see a few more shorts from me, but you know, I'm still making music videos, getting into the commercial world as a director. But most importantly, I think I'm gearing up to make my first feature film. So in the next couple of years, that should be a thing. So that's what you expect from me in the coming next couple years.
I love it. And where can we see most of the things that you have directed? Let's see. I want to watch them all. Where can I see them?
You can see them on my website. You can see them at www.ericaorofino.com. Sometimes I post stuff on my Instagram as well, but my website is where everything eventually lands.
Link in the description below. I love it. Amazing. I mean, what can I say? I love what you do. It's amazing, and the fact that you have doing it for some time now, and you have to do like so many sacrifices, but to make it happen. I mean, besides showing that you love it, it also shows like the whole, like how things should be done when you want to make something happen. You know, that there's a lot of hard work, and the fact that you're showing it and you're having results. I mean, I think that's proof enough for everyone here to be like, it is possible, and if she can do it, I can do it too. And as I said, it's amazing, and yeah, I'm super sure that our next conversation is gonna be about the hundreds upon hundreds project that you have directed already, because it's amazing.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I actually just want to second that. I think if you want to be a director, you want to be whatever you want to be, yeah, you can do it, and you just have to be persistent and keep your eyes on the prize, as they say.
I love it. And yeah, it's amazing. Keep doing what you do. I also want to thank those who watched this video. Thank you so much for watching. Either if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, make sure to go follow Erica like right now. I mean, the link will be also in the description. So let's make her viral. #Team Erica. She's amazing. Also, if it is your birthday, happy birthday. Or have an incredible day or evening, depending where you are. And again, Erica, thank you so much for making this happen. Keep inspiring, keep creating, because I love it. And I'll see you in the next one.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.